So query processing is our topic for the today's class, and query processing means we are talking about the how a query will be processed internal. As an overview, as a human being, he or she can read only the SQL, that is a structured query language, that is a human readable point. So when talking about the things, how the internal the query will be processed, so that is not easily understood by the machine. So that's why we have seen the three important concepts. If you remember, the first one was the SQL, that is structured query language. Next one we have seen the relation algebra, and next one we have seen the relational calculus. So using all these three different concepts, we have a query processing. So before understanding the query processing, you must be known to all these points. Okay, so from this perspective, I'm going to start the this lecture, that is a query processing, how the query will be processed internal. So query processing basically is an activity that is performed in extracting the data from the database. So in the database, a large pool of the data we have, from the data we have to extract the information. So how we can extract, and that is to be done by the our important concept which is known as the query processing. So query processing is saying to us how the query will be processed. So I'm, as a human person, I'm typing the, as a human being, I'm typing the select star from the XYZ table. So I'm using the English statement keywords only. But the point is over here, English statement keyword will be transformed into the some other format by our database compiler, so machine can understand easily, because machine has a own language. So that is a big problem we have over here. So in this case, the query processing play important role. So if you remember the system architecture, there was a term query processing. If you remember the term, so see in the our database subject is just based on the our foundation or the fundamental structure, that is system architecture. So while studying this course, you people are not required to forget the any point from the system architecture. Now, so in the query processing, what we have to do, it takes various steps for the fetching the data from the database. So what are those steps? There are three different steps. One is a parsing and translation. After fetching the data, and how to parse the data and how to translate the data for the machine purpose, because machine cannot understand the human English human written material, that is an English statement like the select, where, from, where, group by, order by, and so on. So these are the required to transform. Next one is optimization, because query writing is basically an art. I told you so many times that you can write the many queries to fetch the same kind of data. Just like simple example, you can access the data by the normal query, and you can use the sub query to fetch the same data. It is also possible. So why we can use the unnecessary two queries, nested query. So the optimization will important, which query is more important, so optimization is more important part. Next one is evaluation. So evaluation is saying, if after optimization, how the query will be evaluated. So query evaluation will be more important because it decide the what is the uh, parameter on which your query was evaluated. So so let us understand all these things step by step. Parsing and translation, I have given all the theories over here, so you people are will be surprised that you have given the lots of theory over here. This theory is required to understand over here, because this is a theory we can understand into the graph as well, or our diagram as well. So as we know, the query processing include the certain activities of the data retrieval. So I'm highlighting some important points for betterment, then you can easily say yes sir, this is the point, you're the right. So what I'm highlighting, so let us understand those points which are required to understand over here. So I'm highlighting some important point. So as a query process including certain activity and data retrieval, so initially the given user query translated into the high level language database, that is SQL. So what you have to do, first we have our data in form of the SQL. Okay, and it gets the translated into expression that can be further used to the physical level of the file system. And after this, the actual evaluation of the queries and variety of the query optimization transformation and takes place. So query processing, query optimization will be applicable while using the evaluation, or while transforming the query into the high level language to the machine level language. That is the point. So that's why the term we have the database compiler. So while studying the database system architecture, I have mentioned over the DML compiler. So DML compiler is what? Data manipulation language or database compiler, which is required to transform your high level language based syntax into the machine level based syntax, so machine can easily understand. So that is the important point. So before processing a query, as a computer system needs to translate the query into the human readable and understandable language. So that is the SQL. So while we are writing, I'm writing the query, so I can, and you can easily understand, sir, okay, this is the point what we are getting. So we know what we are getting. I am speaking once again, from the SQL we are able to know what we are getting, but in the SQL we don't know how we are getting. That is the point. So consequently, SQL or structured query language is the best suitable choice for the human, because we can use only the English statement only. But it is not a perfectly suitable for the internal processes of the query system. So at the time, the relation algebra play important role. So what is relation algebra? As we have seen, in which we have the certain operation, some operator, by which machine can easily understand those operator. Because in the computer system, if you are representing the English statement, statement words or keywords in form of the symbols, so machine can easily understand what is the sense of the dead or symbols. So machine can easily identify. So transformation of the computation will be done in simple way in the select statement. So in the select keyword, what we have, SELECT, six selectors we have. But while using the simple symbol for select, I'm using sigma, if you remembered. So sigma will be the only the one letter by which I can denote the thing. So instead of the six letter, I am represent the same information by the simple one letter. So that is the beauty of the relation algebra. And relation algebra, as we know, it is our procedural language. Okay, so that is the point. It means we know how to get the data. That is the point you people are required to understand. Do not forget the all the terms. So relational algebra is best suited for the internal representation of a query. Is well suited. I can highlight all these points. Well suited for the internal representation of the query. So translation processing and query processing is similar to a parser of the query. Parser is what actually? Parser means in our English statement, when you try to understand anything by the English grammar. I'm taking real example, then the picture will be clear to all in your mind. So you are using the various sentences followed by the various tense, okay, past, present, perfect, and of course followed by the different varieties of the its flavor. So simple tense or the perfect tense, past perfect, and past tense. Oh God, these are all various kind of tenses by which you can represent the grammar. But these grammar will be categorized by the other factor as well, which is a noun, which is a pronoun, and which is the adjective, and so and so. So all these are represented by the tree manner. And this is happened in the parsing mechanism you have seen in the data structure. So those who have any idea about the data structure, so they will know the thing. So in the data structure, you have remembered the expression tree. So what I'm doing, right, what I have done in the expression tree, I have expressed the my tree. I have expressed my expression in from the tree. So that is what I'm doing. I'm doing the parsing. So parsing, which is to be done by a internal concept or a tool that is known as a parser. So same we have the our query parser. So what will do the query parser? Query parser will try to extract the information. Select column first name. So it will decide that is only the first name will be represented by the machines only. We will not represent the thing to the system or to the user, the all the details. That is the point. So similar to the parser of the query. So when a user execute any query for generating the internal form of a query, so the parser in the system check the syntax of the query. So of course I have written the wrong query, or instead of the select I have forgotten to put the C instead of these six letters. I forgot to type the C, so I will get an error, of course. And verify the names of the relation in the database. Of course, if the database is not does not exist, then you will try to fetch the data from the employee table, and which is not stored in or which is not available in our database. So that is the point. So that is all the things which are part of the parser. And the tuple and finally are required to attribute values. So the parser creates a tree of a query and known as a parse tree. And this parse tree you have seen inside the expression tree if you have studied the expression tree in the database. So this is the parse tree. So further translate it into the form of the relational algebra. With this, it evenly replace all the use of the views when used to the query. Let us explore all these things with the help of this diagram. So this is the diagram we have seen over here. We have to understand by our previous slide theory. So first, what we have to do, we have to pass a query, and after passing this query, parser and translator will translate and parse our information into the characterized manner. What we have to do, which is a table, and how many tables we have, how much is the attribute we have to fetch, and based on the condition, what the information you want to access. And now you can easily see internal algebra expression is important role over here. So now after typing the query, after following the parser translator, that is the first step of the our query processing, relation algebra expression play important role to express your query into the form of the relation algebra manner. So now next we have the optimizer. So what is optimizer? Optimizer will optimize our relation algebra query. So because our query we can get or we can write into the different way, you will see in the next slide, we can write our query into two different ways. So which query we have to opt. So optimizer play important, that is the third step. So first step is what? First step we have the parser and translator. Next we have our optimizer. Yes, if you remember this diagram, optimization. So optimization will be done by the part which is known as the optimizer. And after optimizing, we have to evaluate the plan. Okay, we will see step by step. We will evaluate the plan. That is our plan. What we have. So our plan will be executed. So we have to evaluate our plan. That is it really we are going through the correct way or not? So execution plan, after the execute the plan or from the our optimizer, evaluation will be done at this level, that is the evaluation engine. So after the evaluation engine, we have the data from the large pool of the data, or maybe from the multiple data. We will try to fetch the record, and after fetching the record or tuples or rows, the query output will be displayed to the system. So this is the entire steps. So steps in the query processing is more important. I'm checking once again over here. Do not forget to all these steps. This could be the one kind of the most important question into the examination purpose I can ask. Okay, so steps in the query processing would be the one kind of the important point, because query processing is a important step which describes the thing properly. So if I'm talking about this point right now, so query output means we are fetching the query output as a result. So steps in the query processing is more important point. So now statistical data about the data. What is, can anyone tell me right now what is the statistic about the data? Yes, anyone who have any idea, so please you can share answer right now. What is mean by this point? Static about data. Just tell me right now. Can anyone tell me right now? At this moment, can anyone tell me right now what is mean by the statics about the data? Just tell me. Can anyone tell me the statics about the data? If you don't know answers, you can say no. So I will continue.
No, sir.
So statics about the data means we are talking about the, see, if I'm passing a query, I need to find the total number of records in a relation. So what I'm passing, I am passing the grouping function, okay, or aggregate function. I can say I'm passing the some aggregate function. Okay, so I'm getting the data in a statistical middle. So I'm not displaying the entire record. I'm just getting the numbers only. So what I will suppose in a relation, I have the 5 records. So I will get only the, what I can get. I will get only the 5 rows. That is only the number, that is 5 only. So statics about data means if the optimizer will play important role to optimize a query. So along with this, if we want to apply, then we can apply. We can also apply the some aggregate function, some aggregate function, some aggregate function. This is the point. Some aggregate function you can see. So do not forget to all these points. So that's why, because evaluation engine will evaluate the your data. Are you getting the real data, exact data, correct data or not? So if you're getting data, but suppose I have the 6 records, I'm getting the only the 5 records. So what is, there is some problem. So education plan will execute based on the optimizer query. So there are many way by which we can do. So query will be optimized by the some method, and that is a method. We have the very simple method. We have the cost based method, cost based estimation method, or other one we have the heuristic evaluation. So that is a point. We have the some optimizer, some techniques by which we can do. We will see, no problem. So from this point, if we have to understand all the things, now let us understand this thing by the help of the simple example. Suppose a user executes a query. Yes, no problem. As we have seen this or learned that there are the various methods of the extracting the data from the database. So in SQL, a user wants to fetch the record of the employee whose salary is greater than or equal to the 10,000. Simple query. Select employee name from the employee where salary is greater than 10,000. So now we are happy. Now this is the English statement. So a human or person can read this point. But to make the system understandable, the user query that we have written above, it need to translate into the form of the relation algebra. Okay. We have to do transform our the user query, this user query into the relation algebra, and now we have the two way by which we can represent. First one, I'm selecting the salary which is greater than 10,000. I'm displaying the salary from the our employee. So from the employee relation, I'm displaying the entire salary field of the employee. So and then after the displaying, I'm selecting only the salary part which is greater than 10,000. Or another way, from the employee relation or employee table, I'm selecting the salary which is 10,000 greater than, and finally I'm displaying. So that is a point which query I can accept. That is a point. Just, can anyone tell me right now the what optimizer will select which query? Relation algebra query. Which query will accepted by the relation algebra? Relation algebra is accepting the both query. Both answer is correct in the relation algebra. But optimizer will have to choose one query. So which query?
Sir, the
The
second
second
one.
one.
Second one, because in this case, first we are trying to access the data, which is the salary, which is defining that the salary is greater than 10,000, and finally we are displaying. First, what we are doing, we are displaying the all the part of all the salary domain. So salary domain means the salary values of the employee, and then from the selected part, we are trying to extract the part. So definitely, it seems to us we are getting the same result, but the optimizer will select the second one. The reason is clear. First, we are filtering the information, and then we are trying to display. So that is the reason we are having this point. So of course the optimizer will play important role. So you can write the answer the above query which is written over there. Select employee name from the employee where salary is greater than 10,000. You can transform this query into the two way of the relation algebra, but which query will be optimized by the our optimizer? So that is the point we have to keep in mind. So here we have, so here I'm applying the statics value. Salary should be greater than 10,000. So statics about the data we can employ over here. So I can apply the aggregate function, I can apply the some condition. So that is also possible. So if it is possible, then we can do this point. So after translating the given query, we can execute each relation algebra operation by using the different algorithms. So here we have algorithm. So in this way, the query processing begins its work. Okay, so that is the point. So here we have a next term evolution. So first, what we have seen the query. We have then Parson translator will transform after applying the Parson translator. The relation algebra expression we have to write, and after the relation algebra expression written way, optimizer will choose the appropriate query, or maybe the if possible, then apply the statistics data about the data, and the execution plan. So next we have the our evolution. For this query we have seen, with addition to the relation algebra translation, it is required to annotate. Okay, annotate the translated relation algebra expression with the instruction used for specifying and evaluating each operation. So after translating the user query, the system executes the query evaluation plan. Okay, so I can write this point. Next, we have the query evaluation plan. So after executing the query evaluation plan will be the next step. Now, what is saying to us? Let us understand this point right now. So this is the point. So query evaluation plan is the next step. That is the second step. First step is what? First step was parsing. I can write over here. First step is parsing and translating. And next step is we have the query evaluation plan. In the query evaluation plan, I can speak over here in simple way. In order to fully evaluate the query, the system needs to construct a query evaluation plan. So the annotation in the evaluation plan may refer to the algorithms to be used for the particular index or specific operation. So before moving to the next step, just let me know right now. Can anyone tell me what is mean by the annotation I'm speaking over here? I'm speaking over here. The annotation in the evaluation plan may refer to the algorithms. Can anyone tell me right now what is mean by the annotation? Just anyone, whatever you know, so can you speak? Just tell me. Yes, Trun, tell me something over here. What is mean by the annotation?
The set of rules.
Yes, of course. See, as a programming, there are some rules we have to follow. So annotations mean we're talking about the some database annotations mean we're talking about the some primitives, some rules that is defined to evaluate. So what is the query primitives? What is the query annotation we are using? So annotation means we're talking about the some rules. Of course, you're on the right track. So relational algebra with annotation is referred to as a evaluation primitives. So what is the criteria? What is the primitives you will use for the evaluating? So just like example in the programming language. So if you want to declare a variable, so what are the primitives? A variable can be declared as an integer, as a boolean, as a character. So what we are talking data type. So in the data type we can have the various flavor, but variable will be defined by the data type. This is primitives for the variable, but Python it is optional. So relational algebra with annotation is referred to as evaluation primitives. So evaluation primitives carry the instruction needed for the evaluation of the operation. So after executing the query inside the our evaluation plan, we will write or we will use some important information to determine that is what the query is holding or what is the query is carrying. So query evaluation plan define the sequence of the primitives operation used for the evaluating the query. And so query evaluation plan is also referred to as a query execution plan. So that is the point again I have written over here. So please highlight this point, query execution plan, because what is the primitives we have decided. And see, this is not is a user end, this is only decided by the machines only. So machine will play important role to hold the information. So query execution plan will be handled by this point. So query execution engine is responsible for generating the output of the given query. So after executing the query evaluation plan will check what are the primitives they have been used or what are the user have been typed. And based on that parameter, the output will be displayed. Just like simple this example. Select star from the employer where the employee salary belong to 10,000. So what is the primitive, what is the condition we have applied? So based on the condition from the which data we have to fetch the data, of course, from the our information that what we have a uh, employee table. Okay, so we don't have any the multiple table, we have only a single table. We are selecting the employee name only, so we are getting the employee name only. So that is a point. So education, the query will be done inside the correct or the final education will be done over here. So a query execution engine is responsible for generating the output for the given query, and it takes the query execution plan, execute it, and finally makes the output for the user query. So what the question we have, sir, what we have done over here. So in the query execution plan and evaluation engine will work or the works together to produce the output as a query of the as per the query demands by the user's query, we can say, and that is formed by the query output. So the evaluation engine and execution plan works together to determine the what is a query will expressing to us. So this is a point we have to keep in mind. Next step we have the optimization. So after understanding this point, third point was the optimization. Yeah, second was one. So second one was the optimization. So third one we have seen. So what is optimization? So I have given over here this information because optimization will decide the cost actually. So suppose you have writing a program of the 40 line statement and you are writing the same program of the 15 statement, then you will say which program is better. Of course, the program which is having the only the 15 statements. It means we will have only the minimum space, so we can at least have the minimum space. So at least what we are following the space complexity. So if we have a less space, definitely the execution will be done fast compared by the high occupied space program. So from this perspective we can say optimization play important roles to determine the cost. So the cost of the query evaluation can vary for the different types of the queries. So although the system is responsible for constructing the evaluation plan, so the user does not need to write their query efficiently. That is a big point, because users do not have any right to write query write efficiently. What he or she is thinking, then he or she is writing the over here. Or maybe the I'm suitable for writing the query with a nested query, so I can write. But you are thinking, no sir, nested query will waste my time, so I can write my query in simple way, so you can write. So there's a use, it depends on the users what he or she is writing. But internally how it is optimized, that is the point. So optimizer play important role. So usually a database system generates an efficient query evaluation plan which minimizes its cost. So that is the point. What is the purpose of this optimization? We have to minimize the cost, and this type of the task performed by our database system, and it known as the query optimization. So query optimization, basically it is not a easy job. It is very tough job to determine the query and what is giving the output. It is just like the software tester who will test the software after writing, after the seeing the software, after observing the software, he or she has to test the software. So here we have to test the query or what is the cost of this particular query. So maybe suppose I'm writing the same query, you are writing the same query, but I'm writing the very big long query and my query will have the minimum cost, but you have written the small query which is having the high cost. So size, we can say the writing the query is long way or short way is not important, the cost is more important. So at which point we can determine, that is optimization phase by which we can determine. So that is the point, you can't leave and you have to understand. So who will do, and which is the concept by which we can see this is to be identified by the query optimization. The optimizer will play important role. Okay, so do not forget to understand this concept, it is a mandatory part. So how many phases we have that defines our query processing? First one is Parser translator, next we have the optimization, and next one we have the evaluation. So for optimizing query, the query optimizer should have an estimated cost analysis for each operation. That is the point. So if you are thinking the cost and time complexity of a program is very large, then you will not use such program. You will try to overcome try to minimize the time complexity, that you have to deal with the time complexity in very well manner, or we can say them in the wealthy manner. So estimated analysis we have to done inside the our query optimization. So what we have, the query optimizer will play important role to analyze the cost of the query. So it is because the overall operation cost depend on the memory allocation, as I spoken is almost so many times, so space to several operation execute cost and so on. So the optimization will play important role like this one. So finally, after selecting and evaluating plan, the system evaluate and query and process the output of the query. So finally, after selecting the evaluation plan, the system evaluates the query and produce the output of the query. So that is a big point we have to keep in mind while learning the concept. Just tell me right now, is it clear to all right now? Is it clear to all so far? or any doubt? Yes, these fundamental 3 steps are clear to all right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So after understanding this point, I have just using this slide which defines the estimating query cost. So I was thinking about now, I was discussing about over the optimization. So optimization, we know. I'm 100% agree this point. But my question is not ended over here, because if talking about the estimation, then what is the estimating the query cost we can do? So there's some parameter we have to do understand. So what is the estimating query cost in saying to us? It's saying to us the system can create the multiple plans for a query. That is a big point we can have to understand. So internal our representation of the system, the representation of the query system, we can say, will have multiple plans. Just like a simple example I can say over here, if you want to visit one place, okay, now you are happy to plan, happy to make a plan, okay, you have to visit the particular city to the various places. Then what you will do, you will make a plan. So you will make a not a single plan, you will have a some backup plan, plan A and B, C. Suppose this plan may fail due to some other reason, so we can move to the next plan. So same thing we can say observe over here, and we can see over here a system can create the multiple plans for a query, and the chosen method should be best for all. So estimating query cost, we can determine that is a which plan we are opting, but this is not handling by the our system, or not are the user, it is handling by the our internal system. So it is done by the comparing each possible plan in terms of their estimated cost. So estimating query cost means we are trying to find the estimating query cost of our system. So for calculating the net estimated cost of any plan, the cost of each operation within the plan should be determined. So because we can say the net estimated cost what we are planning, that should be determined by the combined by that should be calculated by the net estimated cost of the query evolution plan. So what is the query evolution plan? We are getting the net estimated cost. So from this factor, from this parameter, we will try to estimate. So but it is not easy to calculate. So there are some points by which we can say, so some resources, some factors are required. So what are those? Number of the disk access, because in our hard disk or in our server we can have the number of the disks many. So from the number of disks it can also have the many sub disks from which we are getting the data, at which position we are having the data. You are writing the query which takes the many, which takes the much time compared by the writing the query in simple disk we are getting the thing. So definitely it will take some many much time to fetch up the data. So this query will not be appropriate in terms of the uh, optimization be. But it is better for giving the answer. So answer is not important right now, we are seeing about the optimization part. So number of the disk access, number of disks, how many disks you have. So that is a very important point, we can say resources. The execution time taken by the CPU to execute the query, that was I'm talking about the again the time complexity. So suppose you are writing the query which is taking the much time to execute the which is taking the much time. So you will say, no sir, this query is very hard, I'm taking, it is taking much time. And it has been observed so many times if we are writing dating the fetching the data from the large pool of the information. So when we have the small amount of data, so there will be no issue, it will be displayed within a couple of the seconds. Now in the MySQL you have been observed on the bottom side, the time is coming 0.267, something like this one. Within 0.267 you fetch the data. Suppose you are writing the same query, you are trying to fetch the same data by the two different query, and you will able to see which query is better. So based on the this time factor, total execution time. Now in this MySQL we have this beauty, but while the other database I have not been observed so many times, but in the MySQL you can observe, you can determine the what is the total time which is taken by to execute the such queries. And communication cost and distributor of parallel database system, see this is the important when I'm just sharing the my information over the remote machine. Okay, so suppose my friend is sitting over here, and my friend is sitting over here, I'm sitting in the some other countries. So how I can communicate? So if I'm transferring my data to the my friend, so again it will take much time to distribute the my data from the various servers or various system, and that would be part of the that part of the communication channel or communication system. So at that moment the communication cost may increase. So estimated query cost we can determine by the number of disks we are accessing, and the execution time we can say, and the communication cost if we're talking about the remote machine, or we can take in about talking about the remote server. Suppose you have a very 3G internet connectivity, no problem, somehow you are managing there. Suppose that you are logging into the Gmail, you will take at least 10 seconds, suppose that. But now you have the 4G, so you're trying to connect your machine with the Google server. Within the 5 seconds you are able to connect. So what differences you are having? The communication cost, you are getting the 10 second, you are getting the 5 second as well, because when following the 3G you are getting the communication cost 10 seconds, but you are talking about the 4G, then you are getting the communication cost that is 5G 5 seconds. So this is what actually, this is determined by the our communication cost. Okay, so this is simple example I'm taking over here only. So estimating query cost is important points we have to do, and this would be the part of the our optimization part. Okay, so the estimate the query of the query evaluation plan, we use to number of the blocks transfer from the disk. So because disk is important role, on with the disk data will be stored permanently. So the number of the disk seeks basically time. Seek times mean when you're looking, we are searching the information on the disk. So number of the disk seeks. Suppose the disk has an average block access time t. This is a point we have to keep in mind. T is our block seek block average time access time, and second, and takes an average time tt seconds to transfer x data block. So the block access time will be the sum of the disk seek time and the rotational latency, and it performs as seeks. Then the time taken will be the b is our block into tt is the time, that is the average of the tt second, that is tt is our transfer time of the data x, plus s. Capital S is what, that is our seek, the seek time from the our number of disk we have to seek, capital S we are seeking, and into t is the seek time on the disk x, and we can say, we can represent it like this one, that is the performance. So tt is equal to 0.1, suppose we have the millisecond, and ts is equal to 4 milliseconds we have. So block size we have the 4 kb, so it transfer the rate at the is 40 mb. So how you can say 0.1 block size we have the 4 kb multiplied by the 0.1 millisecond plus seek time we are trying to get. So we have to get all these things like this one over here. So we are trying to get, so transport rate we can get the 40 mb so per second. With this we can easily calculate the estimated cost of the given query evaluation plan. So generally the estimate the cost, we consider the worst case that would happen, just like the example of the our any time complexity we are trying to get, we will expecting that in the worst case we will always recommend it. We never recommended the average case or best case, but we are always trying to get the worst case. Time complexity of the order of n, suppose we have a linear search, we have the time complexity order of the n. So this is what actually, this is the order of n, it means we have to traverse all the nodes. So this is what, that is a maximum time which is taken by the our algorithm. So that is the worst case we are assuming. So that is a case we can observe over here. The estimating the cost, we will always use to, or we will consider the worst case. And the users assume that initially the data is read from the disk only, but there must be chance that information is already available present in the main memory. So however the user usually ignore this effect, and due to this the actual cost of the execution comes out less than the estimated value. Of course this is the point. So I'm trying to fetch the data from the disk, but this is the information is already available on the my main memory or the primary memory, because few seconds ago I have already traced the some information. So while I'm fetching the data from the my disk, my pointer or my the query optimizer will not communicate to disk, because it is will communicate to the main memory first, because execution will be done by the main memory. So it is founding that data is available on the main memory, so it will save time, some it will save our time, it will save our time, and it will not jump to a disk, it will fetch the data from the primary memory or our temporary memory. So the execution will be done very fastly. So we can say this is our better example. So estimate, we can say estimated cost for query processing or query evaluating will be lesser than the our accessing the data from the disk. So that is a simple point. So again, this is the theory we have written over here. That is the next, we have the response time. So response time is the time required to execute the plan. Yes, this, yeah. So the response time is the time required to execute the plan and could be used for estimating the cost of the query evaluation plan. But due to the following reason, it becomes difficult to calculate the response time without actually executing the query evaluation plan. So what is the response time actually? As we know, from the disk we are getting the information. So what is the time at which we are just trying to read the information? So time which is taken by the read the data from the disk, that is a disk will be responding to the system, that is the data you are want to access. So time that is known as a response time. So the response time is the time which is responding by the disk to fetch the data. Response time, rotation, latency, all these terms are belong to the seek time. All these time belong to the disk purpose. Why? You have seen the disk scheduling algorithm in the operating system, and this is also part of the our same kind of the concept, because information is stored into the here or at what moment we are storing in data. So we are storing data on the disk only. So that is the reason. So there are certain reasons the response time is required to execute the plan, but it could we can say it was difficult to execute. So what are the reason? The query begins its execution, the response time becomes dependent on the content or the stored on the buffer. So, but this information difficult to retrieve when the query is in optimized mode. So it is not available also. When a system with a multiple disk is present, the response time depend on the interrogation. That is what we access the distributed among the disk, and that is the difficulty we can access. So because over the our internet we have the loss of the data. So from the data you want to access the information, then it is founding over that we are accessing the multiple disks. So sometimes we have to wait from which the data we are getting the data. So that is reason it will take much time. So response time, it is not easy to calculate properly, because depend on the certain reason we can say it can fail. Now, consequently, instead of the minimizing the response time for any query evaluation plan, the optimizer finds it's better to reduce the total resource consumption of the query plan. So it estimates the cost of the query evaluation plan we have, and it is good to minimize the resource you to use to accessing the disk or use the extra resources. So that is reason response time will waste some resources, and it will take much time, depend on the different cases. So response time is not a calculated part to estimate the query, but we will consider only, so far we will consider only the seek time, so from which we are getting. So estimating query cost is not easy job, because estimating the query will take much time, because query you are trying to write on the our screen, and screen will pass the information to the main memory and then pass to the its disk. Then from this you are taking the data, fetching the data. So getting the data will take much time, and or sometimes we can get the data within a short period of time. But this is not an easy job, this is not an easy task. We feel that we are getting data within a couple of seconds, but internally how it is representing, how we are getting the thing, and that is to be identified by the estimating query cost. So cost based optimization is an important point. So cost based optimization we have over here. This is our first technique to query processing. So what is saying to what this method is saying to us? This method is saying to us, suppose we have a query in our environment. Optimizer allocate the cost in a numerical form which is related to each step of the possible plan, and then finds these values and together to get a cost estimate for the plan or for the possible strategy. So after the calculating the cost of the all possible plans, the optimizer try to choose the best plan, and which one have to the possible the lowest cost. So cost based optimization we can do. So in the cost based optimization, if you're performing, before that you must have the estimate the query cost concept. If you know, then you can continue. So query evaluation is not an easy job. Query evaluation is not an easy task. It is basically, it takes much time. So query calculation parameter, query evaluating parameter, query optimization is basically internal process and takes much time. And something depend on the hardware configuration as well. Suppose you have a low memory, then it will take much time compared to the more memory. So some things depend on the some hardware and software configuration as well. So which will have the possible lower cost, will use such part. So for this reason, the optimizer may have be sometimes referred to as a cost based optimizer. So what it will have, let me explain some points over here. So all these points are theoretical points, so I'm not going to the detailed manner over here, but I'm just giving some idea what this method is saying to us. So in the main examination, there is no guarantee, but there are some possibilities. I can ask this question like, define the, explain the one technique of the our uh, this concept, that is a query processing, and I can ask the different way of the question. So you people are ready to uh, uh, give the justification with the proper way. So all the things you will need to write the justification you can find over here. So because it is the information I'm giving over here only for detailed purpose, for just like a notes purpose only. So cost optimization method is based on the cost of the query that is to be optimized. So from which part you want to optimize? Definitely our query execution plan or query evaluation plan from which we can get it. So the query can use a lot of the paths based on the value of the indexes available, sorting method, constraint, that is a various way is define the various things. Suppose I'm using the indexes, suppose I'm using the sorting method, suppose I'm using the constraint. So from which we can get the data. The aim of the query optimization is to choose the most efficient path of the implementing the query at the possible lowest minimum cost in the form of the any algorithm. So the aim of the query optimization to choose the most minimum efficient path. So it means we will have to use the not be with the system will choose the uh, path which define the minimum cost. So this is to be identified by the only the query optimizer. So query optimizer means the cost based optimization where we will discuss about the only the cost. But when talking about the other way, so other will having the own sense. The cost of the executing the algorithm needs to be provided by the query optimizer so that the most suitable query can be selected for an operation. From that point, we have to identify. So cost of the executing the algorithm. So here we are not talking about syntaxes. Okay, the query is executing perfectly, but which query is better option? Just like simple example, you are writing the something to me, and I have the 60 different way. So which option or which way I have to go? So I will choose a minimum cost and which take the minimum time. So time is a cost we can consider right now. So time, the query or the information by which I'm getting the short data in a summarized way with the minimum period of time, so I can say this is the best one. So what is because it is taking the least time compared to the others one. So from this way we can say, observe over here, the cost of the executing of the algorithm needs to be provided by the query optimizer so that the most suitable query can be selected for an operation. The cost of the algorithm also depends upon the cardinality of the inputs. Now, what is cardinality? Mapping cardinality. That is one to one, one to many, many. Suppose one many to many will take much time because many attributes or many entities will communicate to the many entities as well. So that is the reason. Okay, customers can purchase the many one product. Okay, that is only the one to one. But many customers purchase the many products. So at a time, many to many. It means many customers will purchase the many products. So definitely the complexity will be high automatically. So cost of an algorithm will depend on the this thing. So that is the point. So everything is realistic. We have to go through. So these are the some features of the cost-based optimization we have to use. So what is the thing? There are some features. So that is why the cost based optimization will important role. I'm not pretty sure about this one, but this could be the one kind of the important point which can be asked into the examination. So you people are trying to like the you people are required to write these 5 different statements with the proper justification, and I am just suggesting to all the students, please write the examples. You have to write the example to justify the first point, second point, third point, fourth point, and fifth point. So explore your idea, explore your way to write the answer properly. So these are some features by which we have to use a cost-based optimization. And what is a cost-based optimization? Cost-based optimization means an optimization method of the estimating the query cost, in which we have to calculate the we have to determine the optimization. We have to choose or its optimization process based on the cost parameter. So that is a point. So next we have the cost estimation. So cost estimation, as I told you a few seconds ago, so now I'm just coming back to my words. Cost estimation can be identified by the three important points. What is the cardinality? So here we have a description. So cardinality is saying to us, and here people can understand. Cardinality is known to the number of the rows and written to the perform the operation is specified to the query execution plan. Yeah, definitely many customers want to many products. So definitely the number of rows between the many customers and the many products will be the many. So that is the reason. So cardinality will play important role. So to determine the cost estimation. Next one is selectivity. This is again second point. If I'm choosing the all, so it means all the attributes of the my particular table or relation will generate the all the relation. So from the selectivity, what I'm selecting only the uh, person whose salary is higher than the 10,000. So I have to use the proper selectivity. So I'm applying the condition, so my cost will be the minimum. Suppose I'm using two queries. Select star from the customers. In the customer we have the 10 lakh data. Listen, I'm using the another query. Select star from the customer, and where a is greater than the 50. A is greater than 50, so I'm getting only the 5 records. So which query will execute the first? Both query will execute the on the time, but which query will provide the better result? Both query providing the better result, but which query will take the minimum time? The query which is having the two records on the filter. So selectivity, what is the data you want to select? That is the point. Next we have the selectivity means we are talking about the depend on the conditions. See, just read only this point only. And now cost. So cost, you can say the cost refers to the amount of the money spent on the system to optimize the system. So this is only just talking about the hardware and software configuration. So number of the resources we are using, so that is the important point. So how many number of the resources we want to use? How number of the hardware? Suppose five I have the 4 GB RAM. So my query will take the 0.267 times something seconds sometimes. Suppose that you are also having the 16 GB RAM, so you will take only the 0.126 suppose seconds. So what is happening over here? Just approx half time your machine will taking. So that is the reason only. So cost will be calculated by. So these are the three different factors. We can say the cost of the optimization of the query will depend on the following points. One is a cardinality, next one is a selectivity, and next one is a cost. From this point we can say we have this point. Okay. So what we have been observed so far, we have seen query processing, in which we have the parsing and translation, optimization and evaluation, in which we have seen the parsing, translation, this diagram, an example. And now what is evaluation? So our evaluation, we have seen the query evaluation plan, and now optimization. So this is the third one was our point. So I can write over here third one is optimization. In the optimization, we have to determine which query we have to take as a optimization. Estimate query cost. Query cost will be estimated by the our three important factors. Those are the number of disks, execution time, and communication cost. So let us understand all these things. So we have discussed. Now this is only the just simple idea, which is just defining that talking about the seek time. So we have the some terms like over here the seek times. So and a rotation latency. We have to see this is seek time. I can underline this one, and a rotational latency. Rotation latency means number of the rotation which is required to access the disk block. That is the point. So latency is basically a parameter by which we can determine the some value. Now other one we have the response time. So response time is not much usable for getting the thing, because response time depend on the different nature. Maybe you are want to access the data and the large from the large pool of the data, so it will take much time. Same query I'm applying for the 1,000 data, same query I'm applying on the crore data. So the data I have the large pool of the data on the crore data, I'm applying the same query, so it will take much time compared to the lesser amount of data. So response time is not a factor considered for determining the cost. That is reason only. So cost based optimization, this is the first method we have, that is an important method. So I've just given over here. In this case, what we are observing, we have seen some features. So in these features, we have to determine why it is determining the cost based optimization, because it the purpose of this one to determine the cost only. So these are the various features on which we can do. So cost estimation can be done by the three way. One is a cardinality mapping. So 1 to 1, 1 to 1, okay. 1 to many, it's okay. But 1 to many, it will take much time compared by the 1 to 1 or 1 to many. Selectivity we have. So what is the based on the condition you want to do? So we have this one. And a cost is basically determined by the your hardware configuration. Just an example, RAM. Now you have a 1.2 gigahertz processor, but I have the 3 gigahertz processor. Definitely, my education will be done fast compared by the 1.2 gigahertz processor based system. So these are the simple such things we have discussed. Yes, tell me right now. Any problem so far? The fundamental part of the query processing we have seen.